it's all fake, it's all lies. They still had some after effects of that. So Natalia, the question for you, how do you evaluate the risks of this Russian fakes being spread in Ukraine and abroad, and how we can counteract it? Hello, I hope you can see me. You can see me. You can hear me. Good. Yes. Thank you very much for this invitation. And I would like to say, first of all, I would like to congratulate you with the Journalist Day. You know, this full-scale atrocities has shown that you can be really loyal to your professions, even when the missiles fly over your head, and even when the Russian artillery has been working a couple of kilometers away from you, you still continue doing your work. So I would like to respect for that. And Olga Runyevacha started with a personal story, and I just wanted to say that on 22nd of February, I had an interview with Mamuka Magonashvili, who is the head of the Georgian Legion, and he has told me at that point that the war is going to happen and the Russian military are going to attack Kiev. For 2 days, I've lived with these thoughts, and up till the last moment, I thought that it would not happen, but it happened. And you know, the work has helped me not to go crazy. The work had helped me to keep on holding on. And I have never even thought that you can be that brave. But the first thing that we've done is actually building up the big screens, and they've started what they did in the occupied territories. They started to broadcast their news. So for the people who have been with no connection, with no water for 3 months, they watched the Russian propaganda from the big screens. So that is something unimaginable. So what have been there shown? They've shown that in Ukraine, there are the Ukrainian Nazis. They've shown that the biggest part of Ukrainian territory has been occupied already. They didn't have the alternative sources. The people have been in an informational vacuum, so they didn't have the opportunity to analyze this information. One of the final narratives for the Russian propaganda is that the Poland would like to take the part of Ukraine. So, you know, I was really shocked when I have been to Lublin, to Polish Lublin, and I've turned on the TV in a hotel, and I have seen the 3 Russian propagandist channels there. And, you know, it turns out that in Poland, I have heard that, you know, that Mr. Solovyov, who is broadly known as a propagandist, that he has said that the Polish people are hoping to take the part of the Western Ukraine. So yeah, but you know, that's, we can laugh about it, but it was really really strange for me to hear that in Poland, because you know, the 6th sanction package is presupposing that it will be the block of the 3 propaganda channels from Russia, and we really would like to have it. We would like to see those channels blocked all over Europe. An important aspect that has been important for us as well is the widespread of the pro-Russian narratives in some of the US and EU media, especially for the last 2 weeks. And in the specific examples, we have seen the New York Times, NBC. So what were the messages that we have heard and seen? That Ukraine should not try to get the victory, that basically that Ukraine does not want to give up the part of their territories. But you know, in English, there is the word that says unacceptable. And our president, Volodymyr Zelensky, has said it quite clearly that we're not going to take this kind of things. Yes, we've had the opinions in the New York Times, but then again, then also they have to provide the opportunity for our officials to provide their own opinion materials so that we'll be able to voice out our own position as well. We see the strategy of Russia. They're hoping that the world will get tired of the war, and those pro-Russian messages and those pro-Russian narratives, they will get into working. But it's just the same as if we were trying to find something human in a rapist. So this is just something that's going on. So right now I am going through this through different materials, and you know that the Chinese government, they have been automatically translating the propaganda news into Chinese. So you know, the multi-billion country hears only what Russia talks about the Ukrainian-Russian war. So you can actually imagine how it influences the Chinese community as well. I'm asking the experts all the time, 1, 2, 3, 4, what should we do? And I do believe the most important thing for us is to provide the verified objective news, not trying to be the first to tell something. We have to check and verify the information. We have to make sure that, as an option of I can offer, we have the main sources of information. This is the United News Marathon. Maybe for the territory of Europe, we will be able to translate the marathon into English. I understand it's really harsh, but we have seen that how the counter-propaganda works like that. So we can broadcast the United Marathon and we can translate it into English, the language that is being understood by most of the world. So as one of the options as well. So what can we do to counterfight it? Thank you very much for your attention. I'll be able to take your questions. Yes, Natalia will have the questions definitely, but right now I would like to get Olana Tsentela engaged with our conversation as well. Olana, hi. So, the United Youth Marathon is a unique event because the broadcasters that used to be competitors for many years, they're now working together, working for more than 100 days already together. There are different points of view about this kind of union. Do you believe that this decision was important and possible? Yes. Hi, everyone. So, well, basically, I think that this question not for me because, those people have to answer, the one that are writing. So, like, for example, Roman, I'm not going to be listening to that. Can you say hi to me and those guys that are right now watching your news in Izum? You don't have to blink. Or like, no, the lady from the new Kakhovka, and he said, like, have you forgotten about Kakhovka or you still remember about us? Because we have nothing. We cannot hear you, we cannot see you. Can you just tell us that you still remember us? You're not going to give us away or you have forgotten about us? And those are the messages that are a lot of messages, those are the things like that just come to us yesterday. So those are the messages that you can easily find. So basically the story behind the United Marathon is like, we all thought about what should we do to make the TV great again. So right now we have the situation that at some certain moment on the 23rd, 4th, 25th, 26th, all of the apartments, they've had the very same voices. The people were watching the news. Yes, that's not the situation that we would like to see to make television great again. This is not the way how we wanted to get a broader audience and more views, but this is what had happened. And for many people, we have turned to be, and I'm definitely going to believe that we have turned out to that, frequently, we have turned out to be the only way to receive information. And when we're talking about the fakes in the framework of the United Marathon, the biggest fear for me was not to become this fake creating channel so that with my mouth I wouldn't say something that is not the truth. The people on the 24th and 25th are saying like, can you come from Kiev? What's going on with Chernihiv? What's going on with Sumy? Should we go there? Should we take the kids? And what it is it that you have to tell them? And you need to have a clear decision of what to do. Of course, there's going to be the part of the society that's definitely going to be not satisfied with that. We understand that for the 4 months we have the same picture. So right now we have slightly diversity in that. But it is a very cool story that at any point of the night or day, you can turn on the TV and you will be able to know what's going on in the country. And you will have the information of what is going on, what is blasting, where is blasting, and if it's possible, we've learned it all together. We've given you the picture straight away. We didn't know. We were not aware that we know not just that we wanted to become the correctors for the fire, but then we have understood that it's not the way it's made. That was a very cool decision when we've got the TV in the radio broadcasting as well. That is a cooler story. Another cooler story when we started to be broadcasting in Dia, because in Severodonetsk, in Lysychansk, people are watching us through Dia. Our protectors, our military men, they're watching us in Dia. And in this case, we have the situation that it doesn't matter where you are, it's about who is your audience. And it's not about, dividing your audience, because right now it doesn't really matter who's sitting in front of the camera. So maybe for some people that's still important, but still, people are searching for the information. And if this kind of collaboration exists, and if we're ready to forget about our ambitions in some way, so, when and I believe it's important. I think that it's important, this informational way of life. That is something that we're currently doing with our colleagues. And I do believe that we haven't known each other personally, but we know a lot about each everyone already. Like, okay, we know this person has been working for 3 nights. Okay, so yeah, I know this person already. So I know the people like that. And this is the story. You know who has what kind of style already. And you understand what are you going to take that. You need this information there. And people are coming, they're turning to us to be calmed down. So right now we have the stories right now already that's, give us more about the law says, give us more about something that is lacking, tell us more about the problems. And we're getting back to the question number one. Are you ready? Having this information from one or couple of sources, are you ready to be that person who's voicing out that everything is bad or everything is, we've lost everything or everything is not that good, and you're thinking for sure that you don't want to harm. You don't want to harm the people who given you this information, not given to harm to the people who are walking around. And this is factor of information as value, the word that can kill, the word that can save the life. This is your internal filter that we all have to live with. Thank you, Olana. Please stay tuned with us as well. We'll have some questions as well. And right now, I would like to introduce Alexei Fadeyev to our conversation as well. Alexei, hi. The question for you is as follows. So, how have you maybe reorganized your work throughout the war? And what already have you used in the approaches that you've already had? What will you preserve after the victory and after the war will end? So, hi, dear colleagues. Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you well. Yes, good. So, straight away, I'm really sorry for this bad quality of video, and thank you for, because I'm going to have to leave for like 5 minutes after I end up my conversation, because right now we have the inter slot. So, right, I in between the broadcasting. First of all, I really would like to add up to everything that has been said, especially by Olana Frulak and Olana Tsentela. I do support of everything that has been said about the word that can cure, about the word that can kill, and about speaking in international audiences. That's something that we should not forget. How our work has changed. Well, okay, we're all here, so we live here at our work. I think all of the people, they know here. We have the mattresses, the opads here, so that's okay, but that doesn't really matter. Well, actually, our work has changed. In what way? Actually, so our activities have changed. We don't have all the unnecessary things, because if we take the news, and for many years I have been working with my of the colleagues, or I've been actually getting people that it's important to have the good structure of the informational message. So there is the structure that gives you so on and so forth. And right now it works. I'm really, really happy about that, that now we're clearing up those messages structure. We don't have time for getting the elaborate details. We have only time to provide the main things. But we should never forget about people for that. I had my personal cases. I was going from a supermarket 100 meters from my house, and then this person who catches my hand, he says, thank you. And there was a lady holds my hand, and she told me, thank you for helping us not to get mad. And that's a very important moment for me as well. So how the work has changed, so how we have reorganized our work. As all of the channels, we have given 12, 15 minutes for the news, as all of the channels, and for the most of the time, we want to give the emotional broadcast. People even told us that we're overly emotional, but we believe that it's important thing to do, because people should see the emotions of other people as well, because in that way our audience will be able to understand themselves. That's first thing. The second thing is that for the very first time in Ukrainian television, and I have been working for Ukrainian television for more than 20 years already, and so we now understand that we're talking not only to Ukrainians and to Ukraine, but we're talking to the world. And it has some mission and it has some obligations over you as well. So we believe that the international broadcasting is important not only throughout the war and military times. It is important during the times of war, because we're trying to counteract the Russian ideal propaganda machine, because it's an ideal military weapon for Russia. What else? And the emotions, emotional broadcasting gives us the opportunity to actually talk to the international community as well, because this is the universal language, because people might not get the text or the voiceover, but they will see the emotions, the living emotions of people. Those emotions are definitely going to be hard, but those emotions will be readable and understandable. And I do believe that this is the biggest change that happened for us. And the most important thing that we have outlined for us ourselves, sense of humor, humility, and being empathic towards the people. That's the best stimulators and antidepressants. Thank you, Alexei. Have a nice air. I hope that you will soon announce the victory in your air as well, our victory. It's okay, we'll let you go to work, but we'll have